Yo, you already know who it is. Price, Rob, Bramigos podcast. And we're back again, weekly episode. We gotta talk to you guys because you all know NBA is kicking off this week. It's gonna be a lot of NBA stuff. We're gonna talk one of the most quoted players ever, Michael Jordan, and the seemingly endless one-sided beefs that people still hold with him. We're going to talk to you guys about what's going on in the current NBA right now. We're going to give you our picks for Rookie of the Year, MVP, Six-Man, Defensive Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year. We're even going to talk a little bit of Miami Heat culture about what happened with Tyler Herro. We're going to talk a little bit LeBron, little Warriors, and to end our show today, we got to talk smidge of the NFL. Tom Brady now becoming part owner of the Raiders. What does this mean? And Rob is going to give a great take on how he feels about people's self-worth and what they are. And that's all today here. Bramigos podcast. Get your drink, settle in. It's time for us to go. Hit the music.
Hit the music, spill the drink, drink it.
Today, before we jump too deep into
What
Rob,
up,
W time. You gotta show them and tell them. Always remember, guys. We're always sponsored by W. Remember, code Bramigos Pod. Go ahead and get you 10% off of some W. It's great stuff. You see, Rob got the hydration.
It's hydrated.
He's hydrated.
All the electrolytes within me. Pinkberry splash. I love this. Hey, Real Talk W. Y'all did your thing with this. Y'all put your foot in it.
You put their foot in it. Now, getting into NBA. I told Rob that I had to talk about this because in honor of NBA starting, it's kicking off. The season is going to be bright, full of great games coming up. I had to talk about this. The GOAT, the man I consider the GOAT, Michael Jordan, and his one-sided beef with Isaiah Thomas, who is still holding on to this. Okay? Look, Isaiah. This is coming from a kid of the 90s who loved watching basketball, and I got to watch all of the 2000s. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
That shit go, bro. You worried about Mike? I'm you know, Rob, you know how I get down. I'm ESPN, I'm scrolling articles. And what do I see on the article? Isaiah Thomas. You know, my record against Jordan, I got a better record against him than a lot of people he ever played. I'm 36-29 against him. And I'm like, Isaiah, Mike at one point didn't have a team and he was still dropping y'all off. And then whenever he got a team and they started winning, they sit y'all in the corner and y'all never got back.
Ever.
Whether you want to say it was because you got old or you at the end of your time. And not to mention, you stay on this, he kept me off the dream team, which they done been so many teams now since that you ought to just let that shit go. Look, live and go ahead about your business, Isaiah. Do you think Mike even give a damn what you doing right now?
Not at all.
Mike got 2 super yachts. He got Team 23 Racing. He got a countless amount of charities that he's giving back, including one of the charities that he has that's $100 million, giving up $10 million to the African Americans in Chicago at $10 million a year, or it might just be an African American program. That he's already pledged $100 million for that $10 million a year. Not to mention, like I said, X23 Racing. He done built a golf course and all kind of stuff. Mike done had a couple kids a few years ago. Mike ain't even worried about you. Why are you still holding on? Rob, why is he still holding on to this?
I mean, we talked about it like before the show. Like, it's the thing of he took the city from him. He seemingly kept him off the dream team, even though that's still, you know, under debate and everything like that. But like, nah, man, it's the thing of he is still mad that people like we don't wear Isaiahs, like we don't wear Zeke's on our feet. You know, you don't see people spending $600 over the shoe. Like, he became a bigger star. and everything like that. He had the battery. I mean, not the battery. He had the machine behind him when it comes to Nike and everything like that. And Zeke didn't have that. And I think I think it did. It played a part. And I mean, granted, Jordan got it because he had out of this world ability. He was, a MVP, Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. He had everything that you could ever want in an athlete, and he did the damn thing. But he did it in Chicago, which is Isaiah City, and there was no like North Carolina team that Isaiah could basically go to at the time until like later on to basically be like, all right, I'm taking over North Carolina. Like Jordan basically dominated the city that Isaiah was born in, and also dominated the city that Michael Jordan was born in, which is New York City. And I mean, so it's like he's done all these different things. Isaiah just can't let it go. And I wish you could let it go, sir. I wish you could, live your life and move on past that, brother. And I know the Last Dance, everything that we all basically rallied behind, you didn't have that. You were just on it. You felt like you met the criteria of a documentary, but you did not get it. Although I did get the Bad Boys documentary or the 30 for 30. But no, man, I'm with Nate, dog. You gotta let it be. Let it roll past, sir.
Let that shit go, Z. Let it go. Mike got the best of you. He's super rich. He a billionaire. Just let him be what he gonna be, bro. You ought to just say, you know what, Mike got me. He got me on this one, but I'm still living life. Look, you still got the money, Zeke. You still doing all right. Don't be mad with that, man. Don't be mad with him. Now, while I'm also talking about Zeke, I gotta talk about Scotty here, bro. Here, Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from a man who was in a house full of kids, trying to take care of your dad and them, coming out of Arkansas, you came a long way to the NBA. You made a lot of money. All right. Mike was mad with you because of the incident whenever Mike wasn't there, and about your knees, and your back, whenever he just wanted you to be a decoy. But for the most part, Scotty, Mike said, I wouldn't trade him. That's my dog. That's my ride or die. We went into battle together. This is stuff that Mike has said. But you too, sir, seem at every chance you get. Mike ain't the GOAT. Mike wasn't that good. Mike was selfish. He was a bully. He was this. You find everything negative to say about the dude that you won 6 championships with. You don't even look like you even have appreciation for it. But yet we continue to do this. Why? So why? Why the book? Why talking about him in the book and everything else? And you look, Scotty, you another one. Let it go.
Let it go.
You won 6 rings with him. You see he doing good. Yeah, his son might have had your ex-wife, but we ain't gonna talk about her because she went with Future too. So you gotta realize what type of woman she is at that point.
Yeah, because we did.
Yeah.
Shit, it was.
Just let
I'm about to say it was what? Oh boy, that's on the Lakers, or he was on the Lakers. I can't remember his name. No, he's on the Bucks. Either way, go ahead.
You gotta let it go.
Let it go.
You another one. Let it go, bro. Just look. What you need to do is you need to call Mike and be like, look, Mike, I was on that BS. I was in my feelings. Let's make right, bro. Let's just sit down, make right, do it for the culture. Same thing, Zeke. Do it for the culture. Because you over there beef with Mike, and Mike don't even recognize you on the radar, bro. You don't. Just let it go, bro. Just let it go. Now, do you have anything to say about Scotty though, Rob?
Man, look, yeah, I'm everything they said, I'm with you, dog. Like, and I think it's because of him basically trying to sell that book. And it's unfortunate because Scotty was a damn good player. And I don't know what exactly it is that he's really trying to get out of this. Because, I mean, he's gone back and forth as far as saying, MJ is the GOAT, LeBron is the GOAT, MJ is the GOAT, LeBron is the GOAT, so it depends on whichever day he feels like it is. Which, I mean, granted, I got you. Whatever. But it's still to the point of you need to move on as well. Like, y'all need to basically exercise the demons that are within you. And basically, you can basically live on and have this unrequited hate, that basically goes. Because, yeah, Mike ain't really caring about none of y'all right now, dog.
At
Like
all.
Mike goes to like these Hall of Fame things. Mike come to like all these different things. He be chilling. You all through his yellow eyes, dog. Like everything that he does is he just chilling. So why don't you chill?
Might be full of that yak.
Maybe y'all need to stare into his yellow eyes. Yellow is a common color. So maybe y'all need to go eye to eye with the man. And y'all need to basically look him in his deep yellow tinted eyes. And basically maybe y'all could feel some type of peace, for y'all. So I mean maybe that's it. Like maybe that's the solution. Like his eyes may be yellow to bring y'all in, to calm you and make you a better person than what you already are. I don't know. But that maybe y'all should try that as a solution. Just stare into his eyes and just figure that part out, okay? Malik Beasley. That's who it was. Malik Beasley left his family to go to Larsa Pimpin. That's what it was. I was like, I gotta figure this motherfucker out. It was Malik Beasley. I remember that. Continue, sir. Continue.
See? Might be full of that tequila. He don't even be worried about y'all. But I just had to start the show with that in honor of number 23 from Chicago, Air Jordan, to go. Now, in the more recent playoff things. Okay, so, the NBA is coming up. People are going to be talking about the playoffs, like I said. That's why I mentioned playoff things. And, of course, we have to talk about who we think is going to make it. I know it ain't popped off just yet, but hey, you got to have fun with this. You got to have fun with this and look at who's going to be where. Okay, so, Rob, first we'll start East Coast, okay, which we're both close to right now. And we'll start on this side and we'll go back and forth. We'll see who we think is going to be in the mix this year, making the top 8 seeds for the playoffs. So let's start. Of course, I'm gonna throw Boston.
Okay.
Boston is gonna be there. Now, who else you think?
So we're gonna do this team by team, or you want me to pull out my whole thing?
No, you can pull out your whole list. Go ahead. Yeah. Pause.
All right. Or no, I'm gonna go team to team. All right, these are not seeded. I'm just gonna say with the first team that on my list of who I'm gonna say basically is, and I'm gonna say the Heat. Mm-hmm. The Heat are gonna basically make the playoffs. Jimmy been wanting his money. Tyler Herro's gonna come back, who I want to discuss later on in the episode. But I think this team is gonna be talented enough to basically make a playoff position, something in the playoffs.
I can maybe see the Heat making it. What about Philly? Philly did add Paul George, but he's already hurt. Okay, so it's gonna be Maxey and Embiid. I think that they can still make it, and whenever George comes back, I think that they could at least be a 5 or a 4.
Who said that one more time?
Remember, Paul George went out, so now we're looking at Maxey and Embiid still being a driving force. So I think that they can still bounce.
Sixers,
back. They should get
yes. Yeah. For the Sixers, I absolutely got. It's one of my playoff teams as well.
All right, who else you got?
All right, so my next team that I think is going to basically make the playoffs, the Hawks. Because why not? I think with Trae Young, with the new French dude whose name I cannot really say right now, or Ricochet, whatever his name is, like.
Call it boy Zach. We're going to call him Zach.
Zachariah. I think they're going to have a nice little team this year that can make the playoffs. I think this Eastern Conference ain't, granted, like, it hasn't been as bouncing, as popping as what it could be. But, like, I think with them, they're going to be a playoff team. They're going to be somebody formidable.
Okay. So, I also think they maybe can be in there. But before them, I'm going to say that the Knicks are going to be more formidable this year. Randall's gone. Cat is in. They've also picked up, that was Mikal Bridges. Mm-hmm. That team is more light. Has to be shined on New York right now. They were a 2 seed last year behind Boston. I think that they're going to be 2-3 seed this year. They're going to close that gap on Boston because they were 14 games off of them in the second seed. I think that they might cut that in half. They might be close to the 7 games within them. I don't think that they're going to be a number 1 team. It maybe it could be possible with Cat. Maybe Cat redefines itself. He tries to be more dominant here. Maybe he does something different. in New York, but I definitely got to throw New York in there in the
I
playoffs.
do too. And to be real, it's like my thing is who's gonna play the five. So like I know Mitchell Robinson is there. I know basically he kind of lost his playing time. I know he's been hurt and he lost a little bit of his playing time with Hartenstein basically coming on. But like whoever's playing the five is gonna be critical. Who they could find somebody that could be formidable right there. They are a 1 seed in my book. I think they got everything to be a 1 seed this year. Like I think that they have enough talent, even though I've had my hesitancies with Cat, but like with Brunson, with Josh Hart, with Miles Bridges, like I think they have a lot there. And especially with how this West is with this Eastern Conference team and the flimsiness with some of these Eastern Conference teams are, I think they basically have everything that it takes to be a 1 seed. Like I would basically put them as the 1 seed in my book.
I'm thinking Milwaukee is going to be back in the mix again.
Mm-hmm.
Dame, Giannis, Middleton. I still think that they got a good chance. What do you think? Because I got to count Milwaukee in
they're
there.
they're one of my teams. As long as you got Giannis on your team, I'm with it. It's just really more, are they going to basically regress? Even can they improve with Doc? I mean, granted, Middleton coming back healthy, that's going to be a very big thing for them. But like, can they basically say in near two with Doc that's had a full off season with this team as the head coach? Is he going to basically improve this team and get them to where they're going to be formidable coming down the stretch?
Okay, Cleveland. I think Cleveland is still in there. Spider is there. Darius Garland has to learn to play beside him and not defer to him. I think if he can figure that out this year, Cleveland is a threat. Donovan Mitchell showed you he can torch you for 40 or 50 any night. You playing with fire, playing with him sometimes. You have to watch yourself. I definitely think Cleveland is gonna be in the mix too. Who else you got?
So the other team that I got, except for the ones that you've named, the Pacers. I think the Pacers gonna still have that talent with Tyrese coming back, Miles Turner. Like they gonna have something that basically is gonna be nice for the Eastern Conference. They already basically was in the playoffs last year and just basically came up short. But nah, man, that team coming back, like I'm really liking how they're gonna look this year. Maybe not in the top four. Like they're gonna be like that 4, 5, 6 range to me. Like I don't see them as being like somebody that's dominant, but I definitely see them as a playoff team.
One team that you have that I'm not completely sure about is Miami, and that's because I'm throwing Orlando back in the mix.
I really like Orlando.
Orlando has shooters. You have Pablo. Pablo is amazing. He's gonna be, I'm gonna call this early. Pablo is gonna be in that beginning top 10 vote of possible MVP candidates this year.
I agree.
He's gonna be
I
there.
agree.
Okay. He's probably not gonna be top 5. He's probably not gonna be finished around top 3, but he's gonna be in the mix at the beginning of the season. He's gonna keep Orlando very, very, very relevant. I feel like that team is pretty young.
Yep.
You got shooters with like Franz Wagner and them out there. They're gonna look good. They won 47 games last year. Okay, so now I feel like this is a building year. 5th seed last year. Can we get to the 4th seed? We know we're gonna have to fight. Philly, like I said, Philly isn't going anywhere. No. Even with Paul George being hurt, they still got Maxey, they still got Embiid. As long as Embiid is healthy, there. You know. Now, it is certain teams on this side that I'm gonna touch on one team really quick. Detroit, this is your year to win more than 14 games. Okay.
You really want to go out on that limb?
No. I'm not putting them in the playoffs. But I think that they're going to play better than they played. Another team I think that's gonna upset people at times, and it's only because of their rookie. I feel like Washington, because Alex Sarr is gonna have the green light. The 7'1" Frenchman that plays the forward, and I think he can play a little center action if need be. That's my pick for rookie of the year. Okay, because he's gonna be out there. Ain't got no choice. What the hell else they got in Washington? Okay. I think that he's gonna be out there. They're not going to be a playoff team, but they're going to upset people at key times in the year. And that's going to be the biggest part to what's going on with them. They're going to upset some people. Not many people are going to want to hear that, but it's going to happen. I'll be there. Oh, you got disconnected.
I don't know what just happened. All right. Yeah, because I honestly don't. It was like you were talking and then it just froze, and I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, I'm not sure what's going on here, but okay. I legitimately don't know what happened. Like, yeah, because like even like I thought it was like, okay, maybe it's just a buffer, like something happened, and I looked down, like I looked at my phone, like, oh no, this shit is off. This shit just restarted. Like, okay, cool, yeah. So I got your playoff teams is Celtics, Sixers, Knicks, Bucks, Cavs, Magic, Pistons, Wizards. Oh, you were just talking about team. He's gonna have a lot of opportunities for that team. Yeah. To be honest, like I'm looking at this team, this Wizards team. This is a future all purgatory team. I see so many niggas on here that's gonna be on other teams by midseason. So that I mean for that in that sense, yeah, he's gonna have a lot of opportunities, but it's like this team looks. But yeah, for one, they have two players with zeros in their lineup, like two with the number 0. They have Bilal Kabali with number 0, and they have Tristan Vukcevic, who is 00. So that's something. With Jordan Poole, I think used to wear number 0, but yeah, it's so bad. Now they got Jonas Valanciunas. Yeah. We could start it back up though.
Okay, Rob, and now we're gonna take a look at what's on the West Coast and who we think might make it from the West into the playoffs. Okay, now off rip, I'm gonna say Oklahoma City. They in there. Oklahoma City is definitely in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Who you got?
So my number one team is not gonna be the number 1 seed, but a team that's gonna make the playoffs. Your Los Angeles Lakers. I see them as a playoff team. They got Bron, they got Anthony Davis. You know, like I ain't even gonna talk about Bronny. That he's a project. He's not probably gonna play on this team half the season. But like the other cast that they do have on this team, I think are formidable enough to have basically a playoff appearance. Lower seed, 7 through 9, or no, 7 through 9, 6 through 8 is going to be basically where they going to reside. But like you got LeBron, you got Anthony Davis.
Are they making the playoffs clean as in a 6 team, or are they going to win in the play-in? Which one?
Oh, they're gonna win probably in the play-in. It's gonna be one of the two. Like I don't think they're gonna be a 6 seed. I think they're gonna be probably a play-in team once again. You know, it helps the ratings of the play-in tournament, which aren't too bad. But like to be like, no, I mean they're not great. They're gonna be alright, but they're gonna be a playoff team nonetheless.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you why I don't think that they're going to be there. Okay. Because Ja Morant is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Memphis didn't make it last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I expect Golden State to put up a better fight. Okay. Because Golden State didn't make it. I don't have the Lakers in there. The only way the Lakers get in there, and this is why, and matter of fact, I'm gonna do this to even clarify who I think is gonna be on the West Coast. Because we went team by team the first time, but I'm gonna say this. OKC, Denver, I think Minnesota's still gonna be in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, Phoenix. Okay. I'm throwing my Pelicans in there because I feel like Zion played 70 games last year. He was healthy up into the playoffs. We went ahead. We picked up a great 2-way. Okay. And by us picking up a great 2-way player to add in, I think that whenever you put DeJounte Murray next to McCollum, it gives us a even more solid backcourt with them. Zion, Herb Jones can shoot the ball.
Mm.
I'm putting the Pelicans in there. I don't see the Lakers beating. I'm gonna say this. I don't see them winning enough because the worst team to me that made the 4 seed last year was the Clippers. Okay, Kawhi and his never-ending injuries. He's hurt already. Lord have mercy. But I feel like James Harden may keep them around. Okay, so I don't see the Lakers beating anybody, let alone Dallas. I think Phoenix is going to be in there. Okay. And we can't forget, Sacramento was right there on the cusp. Okay. To me, it's only, whenever I think of the West, it's only a handful of teams that I think that are truly bad. Portland. Okay. Utah is kind of bad. I feel like they just never put it together. They got Markin and they got Sexton. Okay. San Antonio got Wemby. Okay, so it's gonna be about what pieces they put around them. Okay. Houston was 500 with a bunch of young kids that I think might take the next step. Golden State is the elder statesman of guys who've been collectively together for a long time. And they may be knocking around. They may be knocking on the door. I just don't see LA making the playoffs unless they have. I don't see the Lakers making the playoffs unless they just have some sort of super strong regular season and beat other people. Like beat some of those teams that I just feel like are flat out better than.
That's fair. And I don't go against that. My only thing is I don't really think so. I'll basically detail what my playoff teams are. So I already said the Lakers. I agree with you with the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies, especially with Ja coming back, are going to be great. T-Wolves with Anthony Edwards, with Rob Dillingham, with Rudy Gobert, with all these different players that they basically are bringing in, are going to be another great team. The Oklahoma City Thunder, I think, is actually going to be a very much a playoff team. Probably a 1 seed, probably the 1 seed. Well, either them or this team that I'm about to name, which is the Dallas Mavericks, which are going to have basically Luka, Kyrie, all these different players that are going to be coming back for them as well. I agree with you to the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans are going to be really good, especially if Zion, who I've heard lost some weight, got into better shape. If he can basically get on the court and keep that explosiveness and basically maybe develop even more of a jump shot to stretch the floor, keep his knees a little bit off of, some pain, like I think they're going to be good. The Nuggets, you cannot count them out as long as Joker's in the league. And I think that Joker's going to be that dude always. And they still got that solid ass team, but that solid ass core. Last one, how could I not? The Golden State Warriors. They still got young talent, B-Pod, and, they got Steph, and they got Kuminga, they got Draymond Green. Like, they got players. Kevin Looney's going to be coming back, still basically, giving the role. They just got Buddy Hield. They got Slow-Mo now. Like, they got some guys that basically, I think, gonna make a playoff team. So y'all ask yourselves, who are the teams I left off? How could I? The Kings. I think Kings are gonna make the play-in, but I don't see them making the playoffs. The Suns, the top-heavy team that I've been talking about for years that ain't did nothing to basically bolster their top-heaviness to basically get a team. They got a bunch of cats that you cannot rely on to stay healthy for enough games, and those cats are not, unless they do basically start playing 70 games each and not just, I'm gonna take off some time here, or I'm gonna take off some time there. Like, if they can basically stay in and actually play for these games, then yeah, they'll be a playoff team, but I can't rely on them to do that. The Jazz, I don't like the Jazz. The Kings, I already said the Kings. Let's see some of these other teams. The Rockets, but the Spurs, I think they're going to be fine. I like Wemby. They'll be in that play-in as well, but I don't see them basing playoff. And like Nate said, Portland, not good. So, I mean, as far as the West goes, oh, man, like I said, Lakers, Lakers, Grizz, T-Wolves, Thunder, Mavs, Pelicans, Nuggets, Golden State. That's who I got as my playoff teams.
I feel like the West is going to be such a shootout this year. I feel like it's going to be another year of the top team is going to be at 60, somewhere near 60, and the bottom teams are going to be mid 40s.
Yep.
I feel like that's what it's going to be again this year. They're going to be 47, 46, looking at the 8th seed, and the top seed is going to be somewhere around 57, 58, maybe 59, 60-ish area.
Yep.
Again this year. But it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight on the West Coast. I just don't see LeBron. I don't see LeBron pulling it out. He may.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if he gets in there, it's gonna be hell in the cell for him first round. Cause he's gonna have to make it somewhere to the 5. I think their best chance of making a playoff run, they're gonna have to be somewhere in the 5-4 seed. That's it. If they are anywhere 1-8, 2, I think if they're in 8, 7, or 6, they could be in trouble and go out first round.
Oh, I ain't saying they ain't gonna. I ain't gonna say they ain't gonna make a deep playoff run. I just think they're gonna make the playoffs. I don't see them basically beating like these other teams. These other teams got some motherfuckers that's real. Like Lakers don't have enough to basically say these motherfuckers are real. Like I'll be like, if the Grizzlies basically come back with what they have, they ain't gonna be. Lakers ain't beating them. Same with the T-Wolves, same with the Thunder, same with the Mavs, same with the Pelicans, same with the Nuggets, same with the Golden State Warriors. Like, I don't see them as a deep team. I see them as a playoff team. There's a difference. Those are two different things.
I don't know if theirs might make the playoffs because of how deep the West is.
That's fair.
They could legit be on the outside, and as many years as you had LeBron being great, you could be sitting your ass at home with Bron early.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like the Kings, between the Kings and the Spurs, I think those are like the only two teams that I'm like, oh shit, the Lakers gonna have some basically contention to go against. But other than that, like, I think that the rest of the West don't have enough. They don't have that oomph power to basically go. Like, Rockets don't have it. Who else? Rockets don't have it. Portland don't have it. Suns, they have it, but they don't have it consistently. Like, nah, these other teams, they got some motherfuckers. Like, somebody out of the West is going to basically win the NBA Finals, which, that's a segue. I don't know if y'all knew that or not.
So, with that being said, and Rob segueing over, we're going to give you guys some predictions of who we think are going to win certain awards this year and what it's looking like. And the first one that we're going with is, who's going to win the NBA championship? Rob, who is your pick and why?
So I already talked about this team and what they are and how they're going to be. It's OKC. I mean, with Shea coming back, with Chet, them adding Hartenstein, adding Caruso, basically to formalize like the veteran core within them to kind of make them a little bit more solid. Like, nah, man, this team is good, and I think that they're going to be really good for a long time. I see them as the winner of the 2024-2025 NBA championship. Your Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay, so with him picking Oklahoma City, I'm going to go to my favorite to win the NBA Finals, even though, Joker, I am a huge fan of the Nuggets and what they do. I'm picking the Dallas Mavericks to win it all this year. And I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
Dallas, I've been watching Dallas. They came in here with a rookie, had to show him to you. The guy I showed you, Rob. Jamarian, 7'5" shot blocker, very nimble, can get to the rim. It's something that they needed in the big. They needed another big that they could go out there and put. I think Luka, I think Clay, and I think having Kyrie back is going to be immense to them. And when I speak on Luka, another segue.
Oh, look at us, professionals.
I'm picking as my MVP this year. The people want Luka. Luka is the man. Luka is the one that should win and shall win, and that's who I'm calling for the MVP this year. He's probably going to average about 28, 29 points and about 9 assists and about 9 rebounds, or he's going to be 28, 9 and 8, or 28, 8 and 8. He's going to be some high numbers, damn near triple-double, and he's going to win the MVP this year. Who do you think is going to win your MVP?
Couldn't agree more, bro. I think Luka's gonna win it. I think Luka's gonna be gunning to win it. I think the writers and all of them want Luka to win it. I see him as the MVP as well. My only caveat is he going to be able to stay healthy? Because that's going to be the thing that's going to, take him out of it. If he's missing more than like say 60 games, granted, they already got the rule to say, you got to play a certain amount of games. But if he's going to miss a gang of games, then yeah, that's going to be the only thing that's going to take him away from it. But no, Luka's going to be the dude. I think with that team, especially being like probably a 1 or 2 seed in the West, like, nah, I got Luka as my MVP as well. The only other people I could think of, maybe Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, because this is going to be another year that an international player wins it in the MVP versus winning. Because I think we haven't had one, since LeBron or some shit like that. Like, it's been a long time since we had an American win the MVP. And I think it's going to be another year where we don't have.
The only other honorable notice I could maybe think of is SGA. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, yeah, SGA. I think he could maybe get it if he puts on the show like last year. I could see him winning it. I could see him winning it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and talk Rookie of the Year, which I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob said this about this team. I'm gonna pick Alex Sarr for the Wizards Rookie of the Year, and the reason is this. Me and Rob talked about this. That team is full of people in NBA purgatory.
Oh my God.
And he's going to get a chance to play, and he's going to get a lot of a chance to play. And at 7'1", big wingspan, high level defender, he's kind of a modest shooter. He's learning. He's going to be able to develop a little bit of playmaking. I think he's going to have a ton of time to play. And I think he's going to play himself to Rookie of the Year. Alex Sarr, go ahead and book that one right there. Who do you have?
West Side Connect, baby. Snoop Dogg already gave him the name. Dalton Connect, LA. Dog, I think you're going to win the Rookie of the Year. The only thing that's going to hurt you is basically West Coast bias. But, Steph, he won the MVPs on the West Coast. You can win it on the West Coast. But nah, West Side Connect. Like, that's who I got. Dalton Connect as the Rookie of the Year this year.
I can maybe see that. I can maybe see that. Now, behind every good MVP and Rookie of the Year, there's a 6th Man of the Year. Okay? Mm-hmm. And this year, I'm picking Naz Reid to repeat as 6th Man of the Year. Cat is being gone. He's going to have to rotate and play more minutes in Minnesota. And what does more minutes off the bench mean? More opportunity to shine. Naz Reid back-to-back 6th Man of the Year. I'm calling it.
All right. I will call Alex Caruso. You are coming down as the 6th Man of the Year, coming off the bench. Chances are for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think he's going to basically, especially with them being, probably a 1 or 2 seed within the West, I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities, a lot of chances to basically lock some people down, win some games for them, and be the guy that they need them to be. Yeah, man. Alex Caruso is my pick.
Now, speaking of locking down, you gotta have a defensive stalwart.
Look at us doing these segues. We are so damn good at this.
We are hitting into the Defensive Player of the Year. I'm calling Wemby.
Mm-hmm. I am too. I too am picking Wemby.
Wemby is going to win, Rob, because A, he's on San Antonio. San Antonio Pop preaches defense. Pop preaches, let's get a stop. And I think Wemby, gonna call him the flying Frenchman with a huge wingspan, is going to probably average 2 to 3 blocks a game. And he's probably going to get 1 to 2 steals a game. And he's probably going to average somewhere in the 20s for points, probably 9-10 rebounds at least a game. And he's going to have San Antonio maybe knocking at the door around the bottom. I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs just yet. But he's definitely definitely my candidate for defensive player of the year. And with the mention of Wemby and Coach Pop, I gotta talk Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of on it today with the segues. I'm
Guys,
kind of on it.
you look at you. Look at us. Look at us. Look at
Coach of
this.
the Year coming out of the city of Gumbo.
See, here
the
you go.
Crescent City.
Here you go.
My second home.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Green of the New Orleans Pelicans, Coach of the Year. I think that this team is going to be superiorly coached. I think that they're going to take big steps this year. And I think that's who's going to win Coach of the Year. He's going to make them look extra good.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you, and that's a really good pick. And I would basically pick them, but I didn't because I'm picking the Butcher, Tom Thibodeau, who basically that's very much a Creole sounding ass name. Like I met plenty of Thibodeau in my days, back when I was Louisiana. But Tom Thibodeau, basically, I think with the Knicks being what they are or what they're gonna be, probably being a possible 1 seed, possible 2 seed. I think he's gonna be the Coach of the Year. I think he's gonna probably have this team humming. Like they're gonna have a lot of cats with a lot of minutes. So I don't know how they're gonna look in the playoffs, but nah, Thibs, I got him as my Coach of the Year.
Yeah, that's a really good pick too. I like Thibs. Now, as we talk about a little bit more NBA action, there's a guy who was once a hero on his team, and his name is Tyler Herro. And we have to discuss, did the Heat front load Tyler Herro's stardom too early? Because he's been hurt. He hasn't really showed up and played whenever he really needed to play. Do you think, Rob, that they kind of front loaded this man's stardom?
This is a topic that we've been wanting to talk about for, I would say, almost a year. And the reason why we haven't talked about it is because there's been so much other shit that's happened. But also because it's like, me personally, I really wanted to think about this a little bit more. Because with Tyler Herro, what the fuck's happened? What connection going again? You gotta be kidding me.
There you go.
Dog, I really, because I've never had it to where my shit's gone out, on me. Like this. And the only thing I can think about is the router itself. But whatever. Well, it looks like I'm still recording, so I'll pick back up.
Yeah, I just left it recording.
What the fuck?
I was like, I'm gonna leave it recording and see if it comes back.
But, yeah, because even now, it's trying to come back in. So, all right, let's get this as long as I still can. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, with Tyler Herro, it's like this is a topic that I've been wanting to discuss for a while. We just haven't really been able to. The thing about with him, he really came on early, and it was like, hey, the pandemic's happening, where they're in the bubble, quote unquote bubble, and he is balling the fuck out. And then after that, it's been almost solid. And I think part of the problem when it comes to him is he's had a lot of pressure being put on him because he wasn't in the Giannis trade. He wasn't in the Dame Lillard trade. So the Heat basically put a lot on him to basically ball out and be those guys. And it really made me think about another guy. So Brendan, because I can't even say his fucking name. Brendan Podziemski. I can't remember if I heard his name before or not. But yes, I am the Warriors fan, but it's I can't really think of his name. But Podziemski, it's is this same thing gonna happen with him? Because if you guys remember, the Giannis trade was basically being bandied about as far as him being in that. There's been other trades where it's the Warriors have said we're not trading B-Pod. We're not trading basically this dude. We're keeping him. We're letting Clay go basically for him. All these different things. And so is this going to basically hurt this guy that, this is here? Because in the past it's been you're not letting Tyler Herro go because you think that he could be better than Bradley Beal, because Bradley Beal was another guy that was talked about going to the Heat. James Harden, another guy that was talked about going to the Heat. You're not letting him go for those dudes. Do you think he can be better than them? And so when you put a lot of pressure on a cat like that, and this cat keeps getting hurt, he was 6th man of the year, granted, but like he keeps getting hurt. Like he's not there for the Heat and to be that guy in comparison to like say James Harden, who is playing fairly well with the Clippers. Brandon Bill's not playing very well with the Suns. But it's just like, are you basically going to put too much pressure on him? So that's what I'm thinking. Like, did they front load the stardom for this cat? And now basically you have to deal with the back end of this dude ain't that dude. And so that's kind of why I wanted to really think about, like, how much pressure can teams put on a cat that basically is not going to live up to these superstars that he could be traded for.
They may have, because they could have got something better for what he's been doing lately. But you know what it comes down to, the Rob? It came down to the potential of how good he could be.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, he's young. Do I want to trade for this old cat? And you know what I really think kept Miami up out of it for sure was the fact that they had just had Lowry, and Lowry wasn't worth anything on the backside. And they're thinking, oh, the same thing could happen with the next old guy. But like you said, Harden has played very well. They could have used a guy like Harden in the playoffs to play with Bam, play with Jimmy. He can go get his own shot. He can facilitate at a high level. That could have worked. And then you look at Dame. Dame was doing really good in Milwaukee up until he got hurt. And you're like, we could have got Dame if we would have let you go. Dame, Bam, Jimmy. We could have really got going. We could have been higher in the seeding. And now we need you to perform, and he's not performing, and it does look bad for him.
Yep.
It does look really, really bad in a way. Like, but maybe he might kick back in this year. Maybe he might turn back. He might turn back the hands of time, turn back into what they wanted him to be. Time will tell, but so far, time is kind of against him right now from what he's been so far. It really is against him. Now, with us talking about other young players being Warriors, let's talk about the Warriors. Do you think that they actually did the same thing with Jonathan Kuminga? Do you think he's finally going to get his minutes now?
That's where I'm like really trying to figure out, because I think that they never really figured out what they had with Jonathan Kuminga. And I saw the report about he's not getting a max deal. They're far away on the extension and everything. So I don't know what they actually feel about Jonathan Kuminga, because I think they drafted him in a time that they needed players. They needed just more stuff. And then they won that championship where he didn't really have to contribute a whole lot, but he contributed some. You know, they had Jordan Poole, they had Anthony Wiggins that basically came up, who I don't think they felt like basically they was buying low, you know, in a sense. But like they have guys on this team that I'm like, if he's not gonna get his minutes now, when is it gonna happen? Because I mean, as far as a guy like Jonathan Kuminga, who has a lot of talent and a lot of ability, and it seems like it's a lot between, like, you know, within the paint. It's a lot that basically he could jump out the gym kind of stuff. And I don't know if he's gonna actually develop range. But the thing about it is this gonna be the time that he can propel himself and actually be like, you know, I am worth the hundreds of $1 million that you put into other cats. I am worth that amount of money. And it's not as if you have that many guys that you can really say, okay, we could give hundreds of millions of dollars to. It's really only Steph right now and then some other dudes. You're not going to give it to Draymond, chances are. You're not going to give it to like a lot of these other dudes at, you know, anytime soon. So like, who are you going to give this money to if it ain't me? And so that's what he has the time to show that. But I'm thinking it has to be he's getting minutes now, because I can't think of who else. Like, maybe, I mean, unless they basically are like, hey, we're going to have Andrew Wiggins basically stay within the starting lineup. You know, we're going to have Draymond, like maybe he push him to the 5, you know, something like that. Like, how are they going to actually do this? I really would like to see.
I don't know, but I know the Warriors are going to have like quite the hill to climb if they think that they might sneak another one in there before, you know, Steph decides to ride off into the sunset in the next couple of years. With that being said, I do think they may, unless Kuminga's traded in a package for a big star right now to win right now. I think you just gotta let it play out for him.
Yeah.
I think you have to let it play out. But I do think that you have to get him some minutes. You have to let him start. You have to let him get acclimated, because I think before Steph leaves, Draymond is gonna go.
Yeah.
I think that if they had to give up a starter, they try to make something happen with Draymond to get somebody else, and then say, "Hey, let's do this," So we will see how that will really work out in Jonathan Kuminga's favor. Now, one of the last things that we want to talk about in the NBA, Rob, do you think because LeBron is on the way out the door, that he'll finally do a slam dunk contest?
I am here to make the prediction that within the next couple of years, LeBron James will participate in the slam dunk contest. The thing that people have been wanting for absolutely forever. If the ratings dip and they are bad this year, I want to look into this camera and I want to talk to America, and I want to say, America, the king will come to the slam dunk contest to save it. I think that he will basically give himself up in year 20 whatever to basically get himself into the slam dunk contest. And I think he's probably going to try to bring his son too. I think he's going to because I mean, granted, Bronny could jump out the fucking gym. Like, no matter if you say he ain't an NBA player, whatever it is, that motherfucker can leap. And so I think he's between both of them. They'll probably be in some kind of slam dunk contest kind of situation. But I absolutely believe LeBron James, and hey, I just want to do some shit and complete some side missions, is going to basically say, I want to do the slam dunk contest or participate in the All-Star weekend one way or another. Because, I mean, he could be in a skills challenge. He's a skillful ass motherfucker, as always has been.
Yeah.
Also, I can see him basically being like, let me try for the 3-point contest. Like, I think if basically shit gets dire enough, that motherfucker's going to participate in something. Because why the fuck not? Like, he ain't got shit to lose. He ain't got, like, he's going to basically, go to Turks and Caicos or wherever the fuck he's going to go to, Tulum, all that after that. So it's like, he going to be like, let me go ahead and do some side missions with my son and do some shit like that. Like, be the first father and son to participate in All-Star Weekend. Like, he's going to probably do some shit like that. So, no, man, I really believe he's going to be in All-Star Saturday night within the next couple of years. I want to say that right now.
I think if he does it, I really do think this. I think if he does it, everybody's going to be happy, but then they're going to say, he waited forever in a goddamn day to do this.
Oh, yeah.
And we could have been did this.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're going to be right, though. They're going to be right.
I agree.
Because we should have had this a long time ago from him. But I guess it's better late than never.
Exactly.
I guess it's going to be better late than never with Brian. Now, that is a lot of our NBA preview coming up for you guys for the NBA season. But NFL is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get out of here, like always, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget about your W. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there. But before we get up out of here, Tom Brady.
Yep.
$375 million.
Yep.
Part owner of the Raiders.
Yep.
Wrote him a letter. He said he's committed to making this great.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Rob? What do you think?
So that's a two-pronged question, and I'm gonna try to keep it long and short and long at the same time. So first thing, as far as his job, like how he's gonna be able to do it, it sounds like he's not gonna be able to do it as well as he possibly could, but still gonna be able to do it to what I think people want with Tom Brady. So let me pull up the actual list of let me pull up the list. So he has basically things that he can and can't do in his restrictions, as brought to you by Bleacher Report, that essentially says that Tom Brady is not permitted to be in another team's facility, not permitted to witness practice, not permitted to attend broadcast production meetings, either in person or virtually, prohibited from publicly criticizing game officials and other clubs, subject to NFL's gambling policy and subject to NFL's anti-tampering policy. So what that says is he can't really do the other shit that broadcasters actually do, which is attend meetings, talk to the players, actually get, things from the coaches and everything like that. He cannot do any of that as a functioning or buying in member of the I was going to say Oakland Raiders, and they haven't been Oakland Raiders in forever. Las Vegas Raiders. So as he's basically as now dealing with that, I think he still can do his job to what people want for Tom Brady. Because overall, what people have been wanting from Tom Brady is gossip from the Patriots and Tom Brady's whatever words of wisdom that he could pass out. And I mean, granted, people have given Tom Brady's words of wisdom and they haven't really seemed that great, but that's also because his shit might be just that simple. But B, like with Tom Brady, I mean, you're still going to be able to get the Patriots like, hey, this is what I did with Bill. This is what I had with Gronk, all that kind of shit that you want and what people want from Tom Brady. But you're also basically going to see he's going to be able to talk to what is happening on the field. He may not be able to say anything disparaging. So when it comes to all that stuff, there's going to be some growing pains as he's trying to learn this whole new job. But the thing about it is, I think he's still going to be able to do it. And people were like, is this worth $375 million? My answer is yes, because Jalen Rose said it best, and I'll never forget it for the time, as long as I'm on this earth. You are what you negotiate. If you can negotiate $375 million to do your job, you negotiate $375 million to do your job. My words I've always said is, if people gonna buy your bullshit, make sure you have exact change. You never want to basically discount yourself and what you can get and the value that you could get for yourself and what you do. So if somebody's basically saying, I will pay you hundreds of millions of dollars to do it, if you feel that you can get paid hundreds of millions of dollars to do it, do it. If you don't feel that you are basically worth hundreds of millions of dollars to do it, do it. Because why? You don't know when $100 million is going to come around that corner, dog. Because like, even though it can come once, really it's going to come again. So the Fox broadcast said $37.5 million a year for you, Tom Brady. And he said absolutely. Why? Because why the fuck not? Do not discount yourself. I remember when I was in the military, I was getting out of the military. Because in the military, you don't negotiate your salary. Your salary is basically created and managed by the government. What you get paid is on a website. You can basically see it for yourself. Anything that you made, your rank, your amount of years is right there. So you've never had to negotiate your salary. All you do is basically say, yep, this is what I'm volunteering for. Cool. So once you actually get out and actually are getting big boy jobs and big girl jobs to say what you should be getting paid, some people undercut themselves because they have no clue how to value themselves. So you, listener, we basically are here as a family. Us at Bramigos Podcast are here not as a service, but as a people. We're a society. We're supposed to be helping each other. We want you to get everything that you want out of life. So never, ever, ever, ever discount yourself. Know what your worth is. Know what you want and negotiate it. And if you can basically get $375 million to do your job, absolutely do it. Do not take a cent less, because that's what you are worth, and milk these motherfuckers dry. Do not ever basically sell yourself short, because they ain't selling themselves short. Get the most out of whatever you can get. That's what I'm telling you. Whatever advice I can give to you, that would be that. So look, do your thing. Don't say, oh, is it worth it? You damn right it's worth it. And you basically try to get the most out of whatever you can get.
And that's from us here, Bramigos Podcast. For the people, by the people, all day for the people. You got to do what you got to do. Get your money.
I don't know what just happened either.
I don't know what special effect you prompt on that one. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, tell your people about us. Don't forget about W. Code Bramigos Pod. Get you some W. Get your hydration. Get your energy going. And with that being said, take us out, Rob.
All right, good night, Canada. Good night, Taylor Swift, with your high ass ticket prices. I heard about that shit. Like, I saw like $18,000 for some motherfucking flip seats. I was like, you better get the fuck, because I ain't never in my life. I saw the minimum basically $700, dog. Like, hey, look, I don't know too many Taylor Swift songs. I say goodnight Taylor Swift every day on this episode, but there is a plan behind that. But like, I really don't have any kind of like wherewithal or need to basically pay $700 for a fucking ticket. That is robbery of the highway kind. I'm Goodnight Canada though. I'm like, fuck that. I'm sorry. Like, woo.
I am right now.
Oh.
Good luck with that, Taylor.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
You ain't hitting me with it at all. And that being said, well, don't forget to watch the World Series. Well, don't forget to keep watching baseball playoffs.
Shit's
and
good.
We'll talk about the series whenever it pops up.
Absolutely.
Good night, guys. Later.
Peace.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Bra Amigos podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.